We've seen our fair share of HR ticking time bombs over the years. This one is particularly egregious. This is an employee that needs to be blacklisted, man. Property manager sued bosses for discrimination. What high crime did they commit? Do tell. After they didn't send a congratulatory WhatsApp message on her 1-year anniversary. Imagine suing your employer because they didn't congratulate you on your 1-year anniversary, specifically through WhatsApp. Yeah, this is somebody that needs to be fired and blacklisted. Like, I would not hire someone with this in their history. Hell no. A senior property manager sued her bosses for discrimination after they failed to congratulate her on their 1-year anniversary at the firm on WhatsApp. Rita Nunn took her employer's HES estate management to tribunal for pregnancy and age discrimination after feeling overlooked when she never received the message. Well, at least she's putting her info out there so everyone knows who not to hire. Ms. Nunn first joined the company in August of current year -3, and later in July of current year -2 told her employers she was pregnant. But when her first year anniversary rolled around, she did not receive a congratulations of the company WhatsApp chat. She complained she was being treated unfavorably by her bosses, and employment tribunal heard. Yeah, this is probably a vexatious litigant. Like this is somebody who's just looking for excuses to sue, aka a big red flag, and you should never hire people like this. Now, 1 month before, in July, another member of the staff received a congratulatory message marking your 1-year anniversary. So what's the discrimination then? Oh, I guess they did mention it was age and pregnancy, right? Yeah, this is one of those things where I remember when at one of my jobs, we actually had to take in some paperwork that some guy was suing the company for discrimination. This piece of shit, like he was literally filling it out in front of us. And he just checked every box that applied to him. Oh, what do you claim you were discriminated against because? And he just checked every box that applied to him. And everyone was just like, yeah, this is totally legit. However, after the message, the staff member who was celebrating complained about the large volume of messages being sent on the group. The firm told the hearing held in South London. Okay, so the reason that they stopped doing the congratulatory messages was because everyone is probably replying to all. As a result, the director decided to no longer mark work anniversaries and to restrict celebratory messages to birthdays. The occasional anniversary message was sent after July current year -2, but often only in exceptions, such as an employee who was celebrating 20 years. A colleague whose work anniversary was also in August also received no message due to the change in policy. Yeah, it's going to be very hard to claim discrimination when there's multiple others that aren't all of your same check boxes going through the same thing. However, in September current year -2, a message celebrating an employee's 3-year anniversary had been sent in error. Ms. Nunn eventually resigned from her position as a senior property manager after taking 10 months of maternity leave. Yeah, so she was never going to last long there anyway. And so because they hired this useless 304 for less than a year, technically, now they got to put up with this. Her claims have since been thrown out by employment judge Nicholas Cox, who said Ms. Nunn was not treated unfavorably and such messages were not an entitlement. At least there's a white pill here. He also ruled that not receiving congratulatory emails is not an example of pregnancy discrimination. The failure to send Ms. Nunn a work anniversary congratulatory message was not unfavorable treatment, the judge said. First, the sending of such messages was not an entitlement. There was an additional non-financial benefit, or to put it another way, more favorable treatment, which had been historically practiced. A failure to treat an employee less favorably than they might have been treated does not itself constitute unfavorable treatment. It just hurts that they got a result to like this level of BS, man. Second and critically, I found that the practice has been, or at least was intended to have been, ended for all employees before Ms. Nunn's work anniversary came around, with a few limited exceptions, for example, exceptional long service. Ms. Nunn was therefore not treated unfavorably because the practice was ended. Other employees would also not by the relevant date have been congratulated on their first work anniversaries. Accordingly, the claim for pregnancy-related harassment was not well-founded, and this is dismissed. You're fired. Other claims made by Miss Nunn were also dismissed. Now, while this is good news, how much time and money and stress do you think were wasted or caused by this lawsuit, though? The process is the punishment, like we like to say. So just because the ultimate result was favorable, the 3-year process leading up to this was a horrible pain in the ass. And this 304 is probably not going to have to reimburse any of it. But hey, at least they didn't award the dumb 304 or anything, so I'll give them that at least. Yeah, so you get a lawsuit from the company. I'm going to tell you now exactly why it's not going to happen. Have you guys watched the Dented Zone movie that Kino Casino put out? One of the later arcs that they had Pig Roach do was that he won the lottery and won like $1 billion. And then he wasted that money tracking down and suing his detractors. And the joke was that even though the judge ordered them to pay billions of dollars, they were all broke anyway, and they didn't have any money to give him. So he literally went from riches to rags, from billionaire to broke, suing people who have no money. That's why you don't see more of these lawsuits. Why would you spend hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars suing somebody that has nothing for you to take in the first place? Now, if you can afford to take that hit and it's just for personal vendetta reasons, that's fine. But most of these companies, like, they would rather increase shareholder value and put that towards a yacht. So that's why these types of lawsuits are pretty rare.